Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising but the sunrise glows. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Heat up, drop your sign. One at a time. You're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console, radio's awake. Morning on the machine, give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So light riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo starts the day. Check here. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile base or handheld tight. Everyone sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and beat my R's. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console, radio's awake. Morning on the machine, give and take. Voices and the speaker, smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices. Stand by. Stand by.
morning. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California. The Coffee Break Net, where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club in Northern California. And we're here every day of the week from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Please welcome your net control host and conversation facilitator, Brian, AI6US, checking in from beautiful Meadow Vista, California. Let's get the Coffee Break Net underway, because some days it's just a downright dirty job, but someone's got to do it. Climb down in this here pit and let's start getting her done.
Let's start getting her done. Good morning, everybody. Brian, AI6US, in beautiful Meadow Vista, California. And, overcast, raining. But, hey, the sun is always shining. The birds are singing, and the fish are always jumping on this net. It's a state of mind. It's Tuesday, March 31st, the last day of March. And, Tuesday morning. Let's go ahead and get the Coffee Break Net underway. First, we're going to check out the national days, and then we'll figure out what's going on for check-ins this morning. Good morning. Let's see what's going on. Well, today is National Crayon Day. National Crayon Day. So get out those crayons, start scribbling a picture to hang on my fridge. Did you know 12 million crayons are manufactured daily? Today is National Bunsen Burner Day. Get your scientific geek on. Today is maybe the last day of this Cesar Chavez Day. Cesar Chavez, most likely probably the last Cesar Chavez Day that we're going to see. It is now becoming National Farm Workers Day. So watch what you diddle. Today is Dance Marathon Day. Dance Marathon Day. Put your dance shoes on. Let's start a dance marathon. Did you know the record for couples in a dance marathon, 35 hours, set in 2008. The year was 2008 for the couples dance of 35 hours. But a single person doing a dance marathon went for 127 hours. That was set in 2025. So what does that tell you about dancing with a partner? Good morning, Coffee Break Net. Let's go ahead and start with check-ins. If you are in the greater Northern California area and would like to check in, this first part of the first round I'm going to reserve for folks who are somewhat local to our area. So if you're checking in from Northern California, come now.
Good morning, Brian. KB6 SSN.
W6EK, good morning.
Kilo Charlie 6, Sierra Lima Echo.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over.
Good morning, Brian. Kilo 6 CKW, Rockland, California.
Good morning, Ramon, KO6CKW. Good morning to Robert, KO6KMR. And good morning, Graydon, KC6SLE. Good morning to Carl, N6CKV. And good morning, Tom, KB6SSN. And there was one or two of you buried in a kerfuffle. Who did I miss?
Kilo Oscar 6, Indy Hotel Juliet, got stepped on by Tom.
Yeah, a lot of people get stepped on by Tom. All right, if you are outside of the greater California area, Northern California area. Come now, let's add you to the list.
KJ5 Golf Whiskey November.
W6EK. All right, good morning, Jim, W6EK, and good morning to Will, KJ5 Golf Whiskey November. All right, up to the top of the list, just a reminder, these are quick in and outs. Let's respect each other's time and keep our check-ins to under 2 minutes. Flip of the egg timer and over to Tom, KB6SSN.
Well, good morning, Brian, and the net, KB6SSN. Tom here. Let's make it quick. Let's see. Larry and I had a load of fun yesterday in the ham shack playing with an amplifier that Dan got, KN6 WQU. He bought this monstrosity. Anyway, we had to bring in an expert, Dr. Ivan Yovanovich from the Soviet Institute for the Improvement of Ham Radio Amplifiers had to come in, and we showed him explaining the entire thing, so you might find that entertaining. And as you know, with anything creative, it takes more than one take. You can do something serious in one take, but something creative takes 5 takes. So I said if it got 1,000 hits, I'd post the bloopers. So it got 1,000 hits, so I posted the bloopers this morning. You might enjoy those. KB6SSN. Have a great day, Brian.
I believe I know the amplifier you're talking about, and it's been featured several times on another YouTube channel, and it probably puts out well in excess of the legal limit, as I recall.
Well, it's certainly got the power supply to do it, but everything I can find on this tube tells me it's a 1 kilowatt tube. It's a big, heavy, 18-pound kilowatt tube. So I don't know. Yeah, that power supply is a little on the sketchy side. I'm not gonna play with that. So, in any case, we're gonna part it out. We're gonna get Dan a real amplifier.
All right, very good. Well, have a great day there, Tom. And glad you could figure out that Ruski tube. KB6SSN AI6US. Let's check and see what Carl is up to and how much of his field got mowed before the rain hit. In 6CKV. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else out there from Wilton. Well, I mowed everything except for where the wildflowers were. So I got most of the mowing done, so I did a good job. Other than that, not much going on. Got to do a Sam's Club run a little bit and stay dry.
Well, I'm glad you saved some wildflowers. I've just read some articles on how our control over the wildflowers has really started decimating like butterfly populations and other migratory species. So very good, doing your part, and I bet you it looks pretty later on as well. Well, you have a good day, and anything else for the net this morning, Carl?
No, Brian, we're just hanging in there. Going to do the Sam's Club run and try to stay dry and maybe work on a radio or a tuner, auto tuner. It's giving me fits. Maybe tear down the station and get it out so I can start looking at it. Anyway, back to you, Brian. Thanks for running the net. 73, everyone. Have a good Tuesday. And hi to Lynn, N6CKV.
All right, Carl. Good morning to Ruth, and thank you for checking in this morning. And good luck on the tuner there. Good morning, Graydon, KC6SLE.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. Brian, I thought I heard you say there were 12 million Crayolas manufactured per year, or no, not per year, per day.
Well, they didn't say Crayola, so maybe some off-brands as well. Yeah, 12 million crayons are made daily.
Wow, that means there's almost 12 million million crayons being consumed by kids somewhere.
Yes, I still remember my niece with her purple teeth 9 on the end of her crayons as she scrawled. Well, that number kind of caught me by surprise as well, but there's a lot of kids and people that act like children out there.
A couple days ago about the shipment of Kit Kat candy bars that was hijacked by thieves. I think it was in Germany. It was 12 tons of Kit Kats. And they're trying to figure out where those Kit Kats went or how they're going to dispose of them.
Yeah, I didn't catch how many were stolen. Yeah, tonnage of Kit Kats, something that somebody might have multiple lifetime supply. Look what I got from Graydon this year for Christmas. Kit Kats.
And the Christmas before and the Christmas before that, yeah. So I found that interesting. Apparently, I didn't know this, but they can actually track a Kit Kat or any other food product. It makes sense, I guess. You got to track it, the manufacture date, and lot number for health reasons. But I guess now they're waiting for them to surface somewhere on the black market.
Maybe they'll just crush them up and sell them to a place that mixes them on a cold stone for some ice cream. I don't know. What do you do with that many Kit Kats? Yeah, Germany. Well, Graydon, anything else for the net this morning? Did you get all Hamfest leftovers sorted?
No, I did not. In fact, I still got about a third of my pickup bed to go through today. I'll have to, in between raindrops, I'll have to open it up and pull stuff out. But yeah, it's, you don't really appreciate the amount of work that Jim has put into all these years handling the estate stuff, sorting that, and storing it. I did talk to Jim yesterday, and he said a quarter of his garage is already full of stuff that we still have remaining to get rid of. So, it's a daunting task. I think we've underappreciated what Jim has done for all these years handling that stuff, because it's time-consuming.
Well, several of us have hauled boxes out of his underground storage area for many Hamfests. So, yeah, I think some of us can appreciate what's been done, but I think, recently, I think there's really been an uptick in items being donated. Well, good day to you there, Graydon. Good morning to Grady. Good morning to Lisa, and you have a wonderful day ahead. And let us know what you do with all those Kit Kats you inherited.
I'll be diabetic if I do something with all those. Anyway, everyone have a great day. KC6 has something.
Have a great day, Graydon. Good morning, Robert, KO6KMR.
Well, good morning, sir, and all the gang here. First of all, I want to say how much I really enjoyed that Hamfest. I got there really early, along with several others, to help set up it well before daylight, and that was a lot of fun. It went a lot faster than I thought it would, actually. And I got to meet some of the radio personalities that I hear on the air, and got to see a few of the people in person that's actually in my class that I was taking for the extra class, so that was fun also. I didn't actually buy anything, but got a lot of good information from the Elmers that helped me out in several different areas about radios and antennas and this and that. And you're quite correct. No matter who you talk to, they have their own favorites, and so I need to just make up my mind and take a coin and flip the coin and decide to get a HF radio, put up an antenna, and get started. Over.
Yeah, certainly. I learned my lesson early on. in a crowded room of hams, don't ask what is the best antenna to put up. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the Ham Fest. Thank you so much for your volunteer efforts, and it definitely takes a village to put on a Ham Fest and to take it back down. But we were out of there shortly after noon, and it was a fun, fast, long day, if you know what I mean. Robert, have a wonderful day. We'll look forward to catching you on HF soon.
I appreciate it, and on that happy note, I'm just going to say Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, and I'm just going to monitor for a bit and then go to the gym. Over.
All right, Robert, you have a wonderful Tuesday. KO6KMR, AI6US Coffee Break Net. Ramon, KO6CKW. Did you go spend your gift certificates that you won? I saw the gleam in your wife's eyes as she just went, oh, great, he won another ham radio item. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. Negative, I'm still researching. I'm probably going to use it. I know I only have 30 days to use it, but I'm taking my time a little bit. I'm probably going to use it to purchase some HF antennas. My goal is to, get on the HF bandwagon, hopefully later this year or early next year. So that's the plan.
Well, very good. Yeah, the thing, I think gift certificates are a great donation by these companies to make because they're usually in a denomination that you have to add something to it. And I don't think a $25 gift certificate from HRO ever left the store with a $25 item. I think it was just a down payment. Plus, I heard HRO was quite crowded after the Hamfest, so I'm sure they really appreciate the traffic that Hamfest brings. Well, good morning to you, Ramon. And I don't know if you're getting any rain down your way, but we just have enough to say things are wet up here in Meta Vista.
Not quite raining yet, but it's true. I can see the street pretty damp, but not wet. Other than that, I'll probably head out after the net and go to a jewelry store and take care of my silver anniversary gift to my wife. When I was back in the islands, I bought a South Sea pearl. And she loves pearls, but this time I got a silver pearl for her, and I'm going to string it as a necklace. Back to you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I recently popped up on my YouTube feed about a company down in the South Pacific who does cultured pearls, and quite an interesting, they specialize in black pearls. And I've just learned a lot more than I ever thought I needed to know about cultured pearl farming. But they've turned theirs into a sustainable resource, and very interesting. Silver anniversary. What date is that? And congratulations.
Thank you, Brian. It's April 14, 2001.
Well, very good. Early congratulations, and I'm sure you're going to make it. KO6EKW, AI6US. Have a great day, Ramon. Thanks for checking in.
Likewise to you, Brian and Danette. Have a wonderful day. KO6EKW from Brooklyn. There.
You have a great day, Ramon. Hey, good morning, Larry. KO6IHJ. I can't roll the R's in Larry. Sorry. Larry.
I'll let you pass. Good morning, Brian. KO6IHJ here. Everybody Good morning. Hey, I don't know what Tom's talking about. This power supply, isn't that scary? It's got a whole bunch of different wires in it with really mediocre crimps for terminals, zip tie around the relays, plastic bottle caps hot glued down to a plate. I don't see anything wrong. I'm going to flip the switch. I'm just going to see what happens.
Yep, just use a long insulated rod, put on some safety glasses, maybe a face shield, and stand 6 feet away. I'm sure a lot of amateur radio gear is tested that way. Well, good morning to you there, Larry. It looks like a good day to be staying inside and seeing if smoke comes out of stuff.
Today is I'm not going to even turn on anything except for my own stuff. I had to take a bunch of photographs of these two items here and get them ready for posting. Then I got to work on one little issue on that Heath kit. It's going to be a simple issue, but I got to work on one little issue on that Heath kit, and that'll be done. And then I got this Kenwood. I got to realign that switch in for the mode selector. So I got a few projects going on here. I'll keep busy on the dry side of the door.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day there, Larry, and definitely don't get trapped by any falling walls of equipment. KO6HJ, AI6US looks... Oh, by the way, I'll mention I caught you on a couple of bands last night, and I don't know what people are whining about. The bands are hopping, especially maybe in the evenings and early mornings, but... Yeah, I've seen you out there as well working the DX. Have a great day, Larry. KO6IHJ, AI6US.
Beautiful, Brian. Yeah, my last one this morning was a T31 TTT from Canton Island. Woo! KO6IHJ, 73 all.
Yep, quite a few D expeditions. The strange thing about them, and it's kind of a pissy point for me, is these D expeditions go out and they run their D expedition on the regular calling frequency, and most of them will go off 5 and work up or down from the calling frequency. But yeah, they're on the calling frequency and they're making pileups, and it's not cool. But I'm not in their shoes. KO6IJ, AI6US, congratulations. And yeah, I got them on a couple of bands so far. They seem to have a good, powerful signal coming in here to the West Coast. Good morning, Will. KJ6 Golf Whiskey November. Will, Oklahoma City. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. KJ5 Golf Whiskey November here. Yep, I get to send my last payment for my Kenwood rig to the guy selling it to me tomorrow. So I'm going to be off doing errands in the morning, so I probably will not be on the net in the morning. My ride's picking me up at 9:15 local, so I gotta go do that, and then I've got a doctor's appointment, just a minor thing, nothing major, just a minor thing, with a local orthopedist tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. So anyway, that's all I've got going tomorrow, and got to get some medication from the pharmacy. I'm not totally out yet, but we'll be soon. So I got to get that set up for delivery tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Anyway, it's supposed to rain here later. We've got a slight chance of rain tonight and then a better chance of rain and thunderstorms tomorrow. So, anyway, back over to you, Brian. This is KJ5 Golf Whiskey November.
All right, Will, and I realized that I moved you to Sixth Land when I came back with your call. Thanks for reminding me. KJ5, Golf Whiskey November. All right, Will. Well, good morning to you. And that will be awesome. Picking up that new radio and getting back onto HF or getting onto HF there. So happy day, happy day. Hey, have a wonderful day, and I hope that you get quite a bit of rain because you are rain deficient, I know, there in Oklahoma City. KJ5, Golf Whiskey November, AI 6US. You have a wonderful day, Will. 7-3.
Please, Brian, and yes, we are rain deficient here in Oklahoma City, so we need it. Anyway, this is KJ5, Golf Whiskey November. We're clear and listening.
Okay. W6EK Jim, I don't know if you can copy or not, but your node is gone wacky. I've already dropped you once, going to have to drop you again here. W6EK AI 6US W6EK Repeater. Do you copy, Jim?
Yeah, I do. I don't quite understand. Yeah, I was hearing it resetting almost every 5 or 2-3 seconds for a while there. Okay, well, I'll cut out here. 7-3 W6EK.
Yeah, sounds like maybe you're running without a PL or something like that. Something else is keying it up. But yeah, it's I think you've keyed up probably at least 100 times in the last couple of minutes. Yeah, there you go again. All right. Catch you later, Jim. W6EK AI 6US. All right, got Jim dropped there. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater, and this is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, and just want to welcome everybody to the Coffee Break Net. And let's see, let's go ahead and take another round of quick in and outs as you start your morning. Anyone, anywhere, welcome.
Hey, B6LU here, SLS, Central California, checking in and out.
AI 6RT. N2 DYI.
C8, Blocks, Queen Victor, KC up QV.
Hey, B6LUV, good morning. N2 DYI. All right, guys. I don't know how many times you guys want to check in. One time only, please, who I've heard. KC8, FQV, good morning, Mark. N2 DYI with 2 check-ins. I'm going to put you down once. KI6RT, good morning, John. KB6LUV with 2 check-ins. Who did I miss?
Kilo SLS, Corey, taking in and out.
KJ4 GDN.
All right, have KJ4 GDN, good morning. And then somebody identifying as Corey, just got a partial transmission from you.
Yeah, Brian, it's KG6PUN, Corey.
All right, KG6PUN, good morning, Corey. And then I got a partial call, Sierra Lima Sierra, I believe.
Yes, it was Kilo November 6, Sierra Lima November, Mineral, California, checking in and out.
in and outs. We'll be back to you in a moment or a few minutes there, and we'll get your in and out. And yeah, for the log we take after 10 a.m. So good morning to you. And let's see, did I miss anybody in that round?
K6 DCL, good morning.
And adding himself to the list, K6 DCL. Good morning, Dave. All right, these are quick in and outs. So first up with only one check-in allowed, KB6LUV. Good morning, Brett.
AI6US, KB6LUV. Yep, Brett here. Sorry about that. I apologize. I didn't know I had actually gotten through it. Anyway, so I promise I will behave. Wrapped on the knuckles felt. Hi. Good morning, Brian. Everybody else on Coffee Break Net land. Woke up to sprinkles on the ground, wet ground, and sprinkles in the sky. Not mad at that. Could use the rain. So I'm going to say good morning to my mom, Bonnie, in Newton, Kansas, who says thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Deeply appreciated. Not a whole lot going on here, just regular old stuff. Oh, I figured out my Fox, by the way, programming. I found out that there's not a power setting on it. I thought there was, but anyway. So that's what I've been up to. How are you, by the way? Have you recovered from Hamfest?
Oh, I think like most people, I came home and retired. That I made it to early evening, crashed and slept through till later the next morning. Well, very good. Glad that our wishes got delivered to Bonnie. And the sprinkles. We need more than sprinkles, though, don't we? Well, good morning to you. Anything else for the net this morning, Brett?
It's just a regular old Tuesday, I guess, but thankful for a Tuesday. Anytime you can put your feet on solid ground, it is a day to be thankful for. So, everybody out there in Coffee Break Net land, I hope you have a great day. Be blessed. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. KB6LUV, be of love, 73. Clear and listening.
All right, Brett. Happy Tuesday to you. You have a wonderful day ahead. And good morning, John, KI6RT.
Hey, good morning, Brian and the net. But before I continue, I have to be upfront about it. I, too, checked in multiple times. You only heard me once. Hi.
Yeah, with a voter system, that's why I always ask if I missed anyone, because with a voter system, if somebody's captured the primary one and you come in on a second one with a lower signal, we don't even know you checked in. So, yeah, no need for true confession. You were really invisible. Good morning. What do you have for the net this morning?
Well, I'm glad I was invisible. We might need to get somebody to program in another algorithm to, pull the doubles out of the mud during check-in time. Anyhow, hey, it's good to see everyone at the Hamfest and do some face-to-face meet and greets or Qs. So that was great. It got a lot hotter earlier than I thought. I should have worn shorts, but there you have it.
Yeah, it really did start getting warm, and it's not like it got hot out there. I just don't think we're acclimated yet to summer being here. But yeah, what a great turnout, and Hamfest, all about the socialization. I know a couple deals are made here and there, but I think also the addition of that social area, keeping that middle part open and putting out chairs, really encourage people just to kind of sit down and visit with friends.
Yes, indeed, and the donuts certainly doesn't hurt that part of the equation. All right, well, thanks for running the net, and good morning, everyone. KI6RT, back to you guys.
Yep, and if you enjoy donuts, you know what's coming up here, John. May 9th. Anybody out there, mark your calendar. May 9th is going to be donuts and coffee in the park. So if you're in the greater Sacramento area on May 9th, 9 a.m., we listened. We moved it 1 hour later, so people who like to sleep in can do that. 9 a.m., May 9th, at the Recreation Park in California, hosted by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club, and the Coffee Break Control Operators will be your hosts. So, yeah, good opportunity to stop by, do some more socialization, and maybe bring out your portable system, set it up in the park, or bring a vehicle and show off your mobile install. So donuts and coffee in the park if you enjoy donuts. I do. KI6RT, AI6US. Good morning to you there, John, and go to Patrick into DYI.
Hey, good morning, Brian. Sorry for checking in twice. My radio did something completely ridiculous when I keyed up, and I wasn't sure if the thing was even on for about 10 seconds, using an HT with a speaker mic connected to it. And apparently the speaker mic has a short in the cable. Oh, no.
Yeah, old cables take a beating, and then, for many of them, you add an RJ connector to them, and, yeah, it definitely becomes the fusible link of a radio system.
Yeah, and this is a new one. This is a new mic that I just got last week. It's a cheap one, though. It's a Samcom. It's one of the few speaker mics I've found that doesn't have a terrible microphone on it. So, I guess you get what you pay for. You get a crappy cable and a good mic. I don't know.
Boy, I love all these names that the Chinese manufacturers come up with that are like one letter off from the brand. Well, no, the microphone actually sounds pretty good. I would say it's, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that it was, one of the cheap ones if you wouldn't have told me.
Yeah, I got a few to try out, and I sent all of them back except for this one. One of the other ones I got was a Radioddity RS-22, which, if you enjoy sounding like you're in a paper cup, you need one of these. Actually, I think the microphone element is pretty reasonable on it, but it's just that the hole is too small. I think if you drill it out, it'd be okay. But if you're going to spend money on a mic like that, then, you should actually get one that doesn't suck out of the box.
I remember a couple years ago when I first got back into the hobby, a couple of us had bought those Baofeng microphones, handheld microphones, and we tried to make them sound better. We drilled out the hole, removed the foam, and it still sounded like we were 10 feet back in a cave. Well, Patrick, thanks for checking in this morning. Let's see, I'll check in with Tom maybe later on and find out any highlights of the All Notes last evening, but sounds like you guys kept her rolling.
Yeah, he was in net control, so I will let him speak, but I will just say this. It was basically all about routers and networking last night. There was actually very little talk about nodes directly. It seems if you're on a mobile connection and you want to use AllStarLink, you get to turn yourself into a networking expert these days, with more and more providing to weird IPv4 implementations and the way AllStarLink works. It's getting harder and harder to actually use the system.
How frustrating. Absolutely. Yeah, I think, amateur radio requires us to be networking specialists anyway. There was a gentleman checking in and complaining that he went back to ham VoIP because all ASL3 was so badly developed, and he had just tried transferring over his IP address to the new device, not considering that it might be attached to another Mac. Oh well, we need to be network experts.
Yep, had a conversation with that gentleman this week and last week, and it's, I worked in the networking field. I worked in IT for a while, and I did asterisk installs professionally for commercial phone systems. So I kind of started in a good place when I decided to play with AllStarLink. It's, not everybody does. Anyway, these are quick in and outs. I'll let you get on with it, Brian. Good to hear you this morning. We're going to go pick up a mattress later today, I think, and see how that goes. And that's about all I know for this week, or today anyway. AI6US into DYI.
Mama gets a new mattress. Yeah. All right. Well, you have an enjoyable day there, Patrick, and hopefully they don't find you asleep in the back area of the mattress store. Good morning. Into DYI AI6US. And let's check in and see what Mark is up to. KC8FQV.
Okay, QV. Hell, was 64 when I earlier. It's nice and sunny out now. You know, did a few nets this morning, and you know, other than that, I was just looking at Amazon. I was just looking at Amazon. You know, when I look at Google Maps, you can tap on the labels, and I tapped on Amazon label, and there's people that take all kinds of pictures and that. And they take pictures of some of the instructions that they go through. Man, our life is full of instructions. It seems like a nonsense. Like, oh yeah, just follow these rules. Just follow this like this. You know, but sounds like everyone had a good time over the Ham Fest. I had a good sleep last night. So let's send it back to. I woke up a couple of times thinking, oh, I've slept a long time. Oh, it wasn't that long, but it certainly felt long. So let's send it back to Net, KCFQV.
Woke up early this morning, sometime after Lynn left to work, and I heard an unfamiliar sound. I thought, oh no, the plumbing, something in the plumbing's leaking. No, it was just the gutter outside the window. Hadn't heard anything going down that for a while. Unusual sound to wake up to. KC8FQV AI6US. Have a great day, Mark.
Yep, you do. Oh, I forgot about last night was Monday. Oh. Yeah, we'll have a good day. KCFQV, even though I didn't get there last night. 73.
Actually, Mark, all day yesterday was Monday. You have a great day. John, good morning. KN6SLN. Good morning to you. Well, maybe John wasn't able to hang around. KN6SLN, I believe, up there in Northern California. Wondering if rain made it up towards the Oregon border. We will never know, I guess. Good morning, Corey, KG6PUN.
Good morning, Brian. Yeah, about that Kit Kat heist. Apparently, they were a special Kit Kat brand, I heard this morning, that were made into NASCAR shape or something like that. So, I don't know. But to me, you know, that Kit Kat caper kind of runs up there with the Lufthansa heist. Forget about it.
So, maybe molded in a NASCAR image or some sort of brand, special brand. Those are even going to be harder to unload. Wow. I guess I should have watched the news this morning. I wonder if this is going to cause the prices of Kit Kat bars to skyrocket also.
Very possible. Yeah, that's what I heard on the news this morning was the NASCAR shape. But, you know, I guess it was something to do with the NASCAR over there where they were selling them. They were into that, I guess. But anyway, you know, everything you hear on the news is right. All right, I'll let you go. I don't have anything. Just have a wonderful day and just driving my clients and staying out of trouble. KG6PUN.
When you were talking about the heist, I just pictured on some street corner a guy in a trench coat opens it up and his whole trench coat lining is filled with Kit Kat bars. Buddy, you want a NASCAR Kit Kat bar? Have a great day, Corey. Keep your clients happy. KG6PUN, AI6US. And good morning, Justin. KJ4 Golf Delta November.
Good morning, Brian and the net. This is KJ4GDN, Justin out of Little Rock. Just a quick in and out here, except now I want some chocolate, because Kit Kats are amazing. And NASCAR, and like, it's cool to see what they look like, to put my hands on some. Weather's cool here in the 80s. Going to be a nice day, nice sunny day here in Little Rock. And not too much going on a Tuesday. Just hanging out over here, playing with the AllStarLink system and the clear node, and just figuring things out and messing around with what I can mess around with, customizing to my heart. Hope the net's doing good. Thanks for running the net, and send it back to net. AI6USKJ4GDN.
Better not lay a finger on my Kit Kat bar. I just looked up to see, I Googled to see if there was any images of the Kit Kat NASCAR candy bar. Looks like it's a special wrapper on there. Doesn't look like they were able to form the chocolate into the form of a race car. But I do see that Kit Kat has, it's kind of interesting. I have a confusing source of news. AutoRacing1.com is reporting that the Kit Kat bars that were stolen were for Formula One. So there we go. Formula One or NASCAR. The competition goes on.
All I know is it makes me hungry. I like chocolate and donuts and coffee. I wish I was there to be there in May to go and meet all of y'all in the park. It sounds like it's going to be a fun time.
Well, we probably will have hot chocolate there as well, but probably no Kit Kat bars. Yes, 413,793 Kit Kat bars to be exact. So, yeah. Well, good morning to you. Yeah, I don't care what shape they're in. Kit Kat bars, I agree, pretty darn good. Well, we are going to be getting together. We usually have somewhere. I think last time we got together, we had somewhere just shy. I think about somewhere 80 or 90 people showed up for donuts and coffee in the park, and maybe we'll get a few more putting a little later in the day. But quite a long drive for you to join us.
Oh well, I might take that drive one day to see the scenery. It'd be a long drive, but sometimes it's worth it.
Wait till you meet this motley crew. You'd be questioning life choices if you drove this far to meet us. But I'm glad you meet us on the radio every day, and you have a wonderful day ahead there, Justin. Thanks for checking in. KJ4 Golf Delta November, and let us know when your 400,000 Kit Kat bars arrive.
I will do so. Goodness gracious, 400,000. I can't even imagine that many. That's a lot. Back to net. KJ4 GDM will say 73s.
Now you got me thinking about breaking off one of those sections of the Kit Kat and dipping it in my coffee. Yeah, now I'm thinking. Have a great day, Justin. Good morning, Dave. K6DCL. Maybe a Kit Kat bar instead of a biscotti. Good morning.
Well, come to think of it, if the biscotti had more chocolate around it, it would look like a Kit Kat bar. I doubt it would taste like it because it has almonds in it. But, alas, I love M&Ms. I love peanut M&Ms, and I love regular M&Ms. I love that chocolate and crunchy outside, melt in your mouth, not in your hand. something like that, right? Anyway, having just finished my biscotti, I'm not dreaming about Kit Kat bars. No way, Jose. Hey, just wanted to say good morning to everyone, and good morning to you, Brian. Peace to all, and hope everybody enjoys the day. It's raining here pretty good, pretty decent. So I actually can see it raining outside, and it's dripping off the gutters that aren't not clean. Anyway, talk to you later. Have a great day. 7-3, everybody. AI6USK 6DCL.
Well, Dave, it sounds like you and I need to plan a M&M's heist. I'll split them evenly with you. Yeah, whenever Lynn goes to Costco or Walmart, now that I think about it, I'm not sure she buys that nice big package of M&M's. And we do our best to make them last. But, yeah, I have an ongoing test for how long does it take for that M&M to melt in my mouth. I just never can get one to melt completely before I chomp down and devour it. Good morning to you. Good morning to Lucy. And you have a wonderful day ahead. Sounds like you're getting more rain down your way, but we got enough rain to wash all the pollen off of the brand new oak leaves, and it is just absolutely beautiful out there this morning with the freshly washed new oak leaves right outside the window here. It is a beautiful morning. K6DCL AI6US. Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's go ahead and see who is out there this morning. Today is, I'll just remind folks who maybe tuned in a little late, today is National Crayon Day. Did you know that 12 million, yes, 12 million crayons are manufactured every day? Today is National Bunsen Burner Day. Get your scientific freak on. National Bunsen Burner Day. Today is Cesar Chavez Day. And I was just thinking probably the last time we'll ever see Cesar Chavez Day. It is, though, National Farm Workers Day. And today is Dance Marathon Day. The record for a couple dancing in a dance marathon, 35 hours, set back in 2008. For a single dancer for a dance marathon, 127 hours. Back in 2025. Something tells me that Dave, K6DCL, probably held that record. He just hasn't put it in the Guinness Book of World Records yet. 127 hours of dancing. They had to have some prize giveaway to keep somebody dancing that long. Or it might have just been at a local rave. Good morning, Net. I'm Brian, AI6US. Let's take check-ins. If you are short on time, let me know you want to be in and out. I'll put you at the top of the list. Otherwise, let's just take regular check-ins now. Coffee Break Net.
N9MUX 5, Charlie Papa Oscar, Kilo Charlie 5, Charlie Papa Oscar.
6, Foxtrot, Mike Delta, Jimmy.
KO6TH, good morning.
KD3, AJN, in and out.
November 1, Mike Bingo Bravo.
All right. The last station, a little weak into the repeater there, but I believe I copied a November 1, Mike Tango Bravo. Is that correct?
Affirmative. Basically GX from Sonol.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Basically, where are you at? And your name.
Affirmative from Sonol.
Samol. You said from Samol, but I didn't catch your name. Could you repeat your location? I'm not familiar with Samol.
Sonol. Affirmative. Sonol near Pleasanton and Livermore.
All right, over near Livermore. All right, well, very good. Welcome. And, yeah, good haul. We do hear stations out of that area occasionally make it through the slot there and make it up this way. So good morning to you. Got you in the log. Thanks for checking in. And did anyone catch his name? All right, well, got you in the log, and yeah, that's a nice haul coming in from Livermore. Good morning to Anna, KD3AJN. Is that right, AJN? Yeah, Anna. Good morning, Greg, KO6TH. Good morning, Jimmy, N6FMD. And good morning, KC5CPO. And good morning to Daniel, N9MUF. Did I miss anyone? All right. I think Anna was the only in and out for this round. Was anybody else in and out in this round? All right, Anna. Good morning. That puts you at the top of the list. KD3AJN. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else on the net. Can't believe it's the last day of March already. And I was thinking about the crayons, and my grandkids are always coloring, and I couldn't imagine that many crayons being produced each day, but I'm sure a lot of people do color, even adults.
And then you think of the other uses of crayons, like Graydon mentioned earlier, how many crayons are devoured by children. And then I'm thinking, many people use crayons for coloring their candles.
Another thing that people use crayons for is to color their Easter eggs, to write on their Easter eggs.
Okay, so when you said color the Easter eggs, do people actually put crayon to egg and color them that way, or melt them down and dip them?
My grandkids have just put the crayon to the egg and colored it. We've never melted them down. That's not any fun.
And which pan would commit to that process anyway? I'd probably use an old tin can popped open from food or something. That I've never really thought of doing that before. That's something that I've never done, coloring eggs with a crayon. I love the idea, though. I imagine some things can get pretty darn creative.
Yeah, some of the designs the kids make are creative, and they're very interesting. And it's good for them to use their imagination and make something. And as far as the dancing, that's not me. You never find me out there dancing forever and ever and ever.
they were giving away a car, I might think about it. Ed, KB6ED, you had a comment.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that one of the techniques for Easter eggs with a crayon, you could make, your design. You might put a star or hearts or whatever on the crayon before you do the dyeing process with the vinegar and food coloring, and so then the wax keeps the dye from penetrating that portion of the egg, and then after the dyeing process, you wipe the wax from the crayon, and you're left with a white portion of the egg. Just the technique, crayon technique from years ago.
That makes a lot of sense. Plus, I imagine coloring and then dyeing over the top, you get no color bleed through then. Yeah, pretty cool. Thank you. That is a crayon Easter egg tip from a professional. There you go, Anna. Sounds like something I missed out on my childhood, using crayons on Easter eggs. Well, are you going to be getting together with your grandkids for Easter?
I don't know about that. I think we're just going to stay home and have quiet Easter and let the kids, grandkids, and that enjoy their Easter by themselves.
Well, Easter is certainly a special time for kids, and I know a lot of people, that's when they got their brand new suit or their new dress for going to church or services. But yeah, Easter, a fun time of year, no matter how you decide to celebrate it. Well, good morning to you. Yes, the year is certainly speeding by, isn't it?
Yes, the year is, and can't believe it's Easter already, and it's going to be April tomorrow. Everyone have a great day and enjoy. KD3AJN.
Yes, tomorrow, the infamous, oft-dreaded, often anticipated April Fool's Day tomorrow. I don't know, mixed feelings of April Fool's Day. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, Anna. KD3HAN AI6US. Let's head on up to the top of the list. Good morning, Daniel. N9MUF. Put down your crayon, pick up your microphone. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian in the net. No, I didn't really play with crayons much. I tried in kindergarten, and unfortunately they failed me 3 times, and I got tired of that, and they just, promoted me out of pity.
A crayon failed you. There has to be a story behind this. I've broken several crayons in half, with that death grip of feverishly filling between the lines.
No, I was just never any good at any of the art activities that they put you through kindergarten and grade school. And I was very grateful when I reached a point in the education where I could defer participation in set activities.
Okay, so if we ever get together at an event, I will not hand you a paintbrush nor a crayon.
I actually did learn how to paint, oil painting, and painted a couple of paintings. I think I've actually got one. I've got one hanging somewhere in the office, I think, that I was proud of. But other than that, absolutely no.
Yeah, I bet you it was one of those art classes in college where they promised a nude model. Just didn't anticipate the 85-year-old man.
Oh, I can't see, I went to Wheaton College. I can't see them approving of a nude model there, especially in those days.
I don't know. I was just trying to spice up your story a little bit there. No, it's something. You know, we are not all wired the same artistically. You know, you can pick up any instrument, sounds like, and play it, whether you've ever been exposed to it or not. And other people just, they see art in everything around them and can sketch from memory. I remember a friend of mine that years ago when I was down in South Florida, he was from one of the Caribbean islands, I forget now, but he could look at a skyline and then sit down and sketch almost photorealistically the scale and everything. It was just amazing. Everyone has a certain talent. Steve Martin is still looking for his.
Steve Martin is scary, and I love watching Steve Martin and Martin Short together. It's one of those things where you can very clearly see the friendship even through the insults. And boy, do they know how to insult each other.
Oh, I was going back to Steve Martin's early days, sitting on a front porch trying to keep rhythm as he clapped. No, Steve Martin, Martin Short, they are a hilarious team. I really haven't kept up with their current production there, but I did catch them a couple years ago. They did a Christmas Story remake on Saturday Night Live, and you have to see it. It's hilarious if you have not seen it. Yeah, wicked humor.
Wicked good, absolutely wonderful. Sounds like we've got some of the same weather here as well. We just got through some really nasty thunderstorms, turned the radios off, and disconnected everything temporarily. I'm back up and operating now, but we were talking about building an ark there for a little bit.
Yes, indeed. I don't know if you have that many cubits in your backyard, though.
I could always take over the field behind the house. I mean, you know, nobody's going to object to that. What's a neighborhood eyesore?
Yeah, trouble is, though, I think if you built something like that, you would probably not get too many zebras or elephants coming, but you probably will have a lot of rats. I saw a cartoon on an interview after the flood, and the lion said, you know, the entertainment wasn't that great, but the buffet was great.
There is some wonderful dark humor about that. No, I was really glad that we got out yesterday for the POTA, because today is POTA Day. Activated a new to us park and wound up having to do a split activation. As the bands usually are, there was a CW event between 2 and 3 my time, and come 3:01, and everybody forgot how to work CW.
One of those sprint events, possibly. Yeah, definitely can get some folks out there, and they want as many contacts as they can. And that's one thing that always puzzles me, is the comment when I ask, hey, did you work the contest over the weekend? Oh, no, I don't contest. And, you know, it's just a wonderful time, no matter if you're a POTA or a QRP or whatever. You know, I can't think of a better time to get out there and get your contacts in. Now, if you want to hang around and rag chew, that's a different story.
It's absolutely a different story, but as you said, it's a great time for getting contacts. That's where we got all of our CW contacts, was during the event. I heard CQMST, and I went, oh, right. That event's on this afternoon. Let's take advantage of it. And Gabriel did a great job with following the frequency and the call signs, and we got the 5 contacts in. And after about half an hour of calling CQ POTA, and we had very clearly spotted ourselves, we looked at each other and said, let's grab that laptop. So I was very glad that I had gotten the desk fixed, and we had the laptop in the afternoon. I know the bands were open, I know they were good, but boy, oh boy, we just were not getting any replies on CW.
100%. one thing I noticed yesterday was, CONUS, continental U.S. Was so-so, but boy, the bands were long yesterday, and I really had a fun time yesterday, and especially later into the evening, the bands has held solid. Well, good morning to you. I'm glad that you and your son had options. You got that park activated, a couple different modes, and a new park, and hopefully a good condition. I don't know if the parks are always welcoming to you there, but I definitely know that sometimes the available shelters and trees and shade and that sort of thing really come into play.
That park was absolutely wonderful to activate. At one point, a handy person drove by and just waved at us. I know from reports of other people in the area that others have activated that park, and for quite a while we were actually, except for the handy person, we were the only people in the park. So kind of hard to get an objection to an activation when you're all by yourselves.
Until that one Karen comes along. Well, excellent. Glad you had a great day yesterday. Glad the weather cooperated with you. And, definitely. Well, good morning to you. Anything else for the net this morning, Daniel?
Nope. Just glad to get the radio back on, playing around with PhotoCat at the moment. Giving a break from job search, came home and had 2 requests for interviews, so got those scheduled out. It was a very good thing to see, and did some job apps in the morning during the net. So kind of switching around my Mondays and Tuesdays a little bit. So right now, getting the radio charged up, rearranging the POTA bag, and fine-tuning the gear a little bit.
Well, excellent. Glad to hear you got a couple more interviews lined up. One of these will turn out to be the one. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I have an SPE Expert amp here, and I think I'm gonna. It just mysteriously turns itself on. I hit unless I actually hit the toggle button to turn it off, it just comes on by itself. And little things that in this that just keep us going. Well, I guess I better work on that one.
Isn't that the truth? There's always something to tweak, something to improve a little bit. Little Miss Tappity Bonk is very happy because since the radio is charging up and the power supplies are on the floor, she's like, "Oh, Daddy prepared a warm spot for me to nest."
Oh, and then someday somebody will buy that device and they'll find all that cat hair in there and realize how well loved the unit was.
At least one of us is loving on the unit at the moment. No, I was really impressed. She was not disturbed when we were getting thunder and lightning right next to the house, and she was just like, okay, whatever. Whereas the dog was having a little bit of an issue, and she was just fine with it. So I think it's just going to be intermittent weather throughout the day, and I'll keep on getting ready for the next POTA, hopefully next Monday. So I know you've got a lot of people behind me, so I'll say 7-3 to you in the net, Brian, and 9MUF.
Well, it sounds like when you picked out your animals, you got the scaredy dog, but not the scaredy cat. Have a great day, Daniel, and continue best wishes on the job hunt. And yeah, I looked up that PhotoCat, a very interesting device. I'm not really sure, I think if I was doing more portable operations, it would be a wonderful device. But it's a nice little form factor. PhotoCat for spotting, for radio control, really neat device using your smart device. N9, MUF, AI, 6US. Have a great day. And let's check in now with KC5, CPO out of Texas. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you. That's like the second time I've checked into this thing. It's always fun to listen to, always listening throughout the day.
and had a bit of a comment about All-Star and some of the issues with connectivity and all that, and I may have, some friends and I have found a solution to connectivity issues.
Okay, yeah. Describe what the issue has been with the connectivity and what you're finding resolve. And by the way, this is your fourth time to check in. Time flies. So tell us what's going on.
Oh man, well, I guess I'm a veteran then. Well, the issue was we were wanting to put All-Star nodes in our vehicles, make mobile nodes, and they were working great off of our cell phones and our hotspots and all that, and then all of a sudden they stopped working. They stopped connecting. And man, we messed around with that thing for months and found out that something with the carriers was, they only have a certain block of carriers, and so they're randomly sending out random IP addresses, and they weren't matching up with our All-Star nodes. But we found a thing called, pull this up real quick, 44Net Connect. It's created for amateur, and we put an installation on our Raspberry Pis, and basically there's a feature on there called a tunnel. We can tunnel our devices through that, and my goodness, it just connects right away. So I know that a lot of people have other services as well in their homes that also prevent them from staying connected. And we've had success with using 44Net Connect on those devices as well. So just a little bit of input. It has worked flawlessly for us since we found this solution.
Yeah, good old dual NAT, carrier grade NAT, and yeah, I know a lot of people have been fighting that, and I guess that was one of the conversations that was had last night on the All Nodes Net here on this 51018. So I guess quite a bit of discussion about that. And yeah, 44Net has been brought up before. I know it's been around for quite some time, a block of IP addresses that have been set aside for amateur radio usage. And I think, like you're mentioning, the availability to be able to set up a tunnel, a VPN, using 44 Connect is a perfect solution for that. Let me just see if NN6H, if Tom is monitoring. He was the net control op last evening. Tom, are you monitoring? I guess he isn't right by the radio at this time, but I was going to see, I know a lot of bit of the conversation last evening I understood was about the carrier grade NAT, and more and more cellular services are going over to that to manage their, so many devices are connecting in through the cellular network. So good to hear that that's working for you. And how did you come across that solution, Dave?
Well, we did a lot of poking around and internet searches and AI searches, and we tried different VPNs, and it would work intermittently. All the other solutions we tried, and we just stumbled on 44Net and realized it'd been around for, I guess, since 1980. And so we tried that out, set up the tunnel, and man, it just works. And so, highly recommend it, and it doesn't cost anything. That's the cool thing. So I think they have some paid levels or whatever, but for just one or two devices, you're pretty good. So, but yeah, it was it took us months, and there was kind of an obscure solution, and I thought maybe I could save some people some headache by mentioning that.
No, absolutely. And I fight the same issue with Flex because I use StarLink, and StarLink also, we fight the same thing and can't open ports and that sort of thing. So 44net, I know a lot people use that on their remote access to many of their devices for amateur radio. So thank you for sharing that, Dave. Glad to hear that it is working well for you. 44net, of course, like you said, was a block of IP addresses set aside specifically for the amateur radio community, and I think they were largely unused for a long time, but now we have definitely a large group of folks who are utilizing remote access and nodes, and perfect application for that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like I said, I heard that conversation earlier, and I thought I'd put my 2 cents worth in, and I know there's other people waiting to talk, but that's all I got. So, such a great net. Like I said, I listen a lot. I office out of my car, so some fascinating discussions that happen on this thing. So, thanks for letting me come in. 7-3, KC5 CPO.
Well, we are just conversation facilitators, and it's people like yourself checking in with mention of different items and different methods that really make these nets very worthwhile. And then sometimes we just talk about pure idiocy. Have a wonderful day, Dave. Clearing with KC5 CPO, who mentioned using 44net for the mobile All-Star connection, and quite a reliable connection through that 44net. Good morning, Jimmy. Nova N6 FMD. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Brian and the net. Yeah, the Hamfest was pretty awesome. I got rid of a lot of stuff, and I did my due diligence. The wife had me bring my spare FT710 and try to sell it, and my very first ever HF radio, the ICOM 730, had just been recapped, and Alex Cross had worked through it and got it back up and running last year. So I still play with it a lot. So I brought them home, and she's like, "Oh, were you going to put them on?" I go, "Nope. Our deal was I take them, and if they don't sell, I get to keep them." So I'm hanging on to both those radios now. So that I did my due diligence, and she agreed to the deal, and it was priced to sell. I had it $200. Now the other one was $900, but it had a 2-year warranty on that T710. But very successful. And then Alex and I headed up to we went out on the far side of Folsom Lake, out by the Rattlesnake Bar Peninsula area, and I can't remember the name of the place we went. Anyway, it was up in the sticks a little bit, and the DX contest was going on, so I ended up getting 13 entities out there in the contest: Barbados, Morocco, Australia, Aruba, Colombia, Argentina, quite a few, Mexico, I'll pronounce this wrong. I got Honduras, and then Montserrat, I guess how you say it, and then I got some island I never heard of. What was it? I got Brazil too, but Galapagos Island, something like that. So that was really exciting because the bands weren't that great, but because the contest was going on, you had all kinds of people to pick from. So that was really fun. Did it on my makeshift Challenger antenna using a CHA Mini and 17-foot whip.
Yeah, the contest was quite. I just not seen 20 meters open all night long for a long time. And Friday night, I finally had to force myself to shut the radio off because I knew I had to get up early for the
for the Ham Fest. But yeah, I worked mostly Friday night, and then the bands really have, decent propagation. The KP's nice and low, and yesterday afternoon the bands were just long. I know that yesterday I think Alex went back out and did a POTA yesterday with Simone and possibly you. I don't remember who all he went and did that with, but he commented that the bands weren't that great yesterday, and no, the bands were just long. They were long all day and into the night.
Yeah, it was Alex, I, and Simone. Yeah, it was pretty rough for us. Like you say, it was long, so the skip was almost all the way to the East Coast. So we really had a tough time activating. We did it. I mean, we got I think 11 or 12 contacts, but it took quite a while. When you're used to sitting there when the bands are open and you're hitting everybody and anybody. We did get the couple out there that does the Yellow Bypass. Really like them. I got to meet them with Alan. When we were out there doing a POTA, we came up and saw them over there. They're there quite a bit. They're probably there as much as I'm at Folsom Lake. So that was pretty cool. So they came in really good. I mean, for local, 5.5 is pretty good. And we got one other local, I think, up there in Folsom, or over there in Folsom, a little ways from us, but not that far, close enough to get them. It was a good time. It was just like you say. It was you really. The other problem was when we were there, the maximum usable frequency on the charts was showing that it was really about 11 megahertz. So we kind of hit this really crappy window of operation. I had to work, so I had to get out of there. But I think if we could have stuck around another hour or two, I think it would have opened up quite a bit more, and we may have gotten distant contacts, but we would have definitely gotten something, because I noticed that 14 megahertz had actually opened up about an hour after we left. But we'll find out what it's like. I got some time this morning, so I'm over at the Folsom Powerhouse. We'll see what happens. I've got my Challenger up again, and I wanted to go out and play with a phased array. Or not phased array, but a parasitic array with the two Challengers. I've got the Mini and the Micro CHA 5-to-1, but with the weather, I think I'll just wait and do that later. Of course, the rest of this week will be hammered with the G3, G4 storm, and that'll probably go all the way through into the weekend. So that's it for me, Brian. Back to you.
Yeah, with the storms coming through, just remember when we're on the dark side, it provides some really interesting openings. So I don't know if you have the opportunity or the availability to do any evening or early evening, but I have found some exceptional propagation during these solar events. When you go onto the dark side into the evening hours, the bands sometimes just have some incredible propagation. Well, congratulations on POTA contacts. The DX POTA contacts are always a lot of fun. Sounds like you had a great opportunity. Those sideband events definitely. Well, any of the bigger DX events really bring out the stations. The neat thing is usually they've booked in themselves, so they're usually there before the contest and after the contest, just playing around at these big old contest stations. So usually the opportunities exist even after and before the contest as well. Jimmy, always a pleasure. N6FMD, AI6US, and quite the agreement you had. If I don't sell, I get to keep them, right? You have a great day. 7-3.
It worked out for me. I was really happy, and now the pressure's off. All right, Brian, hey, thanks for doing this morning. You guys did an awesome job with the Hamfest, too. Another terrific Hamfest pulled off. All right, back to net control. I'll be listening. 73.
All right, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you had a great event, and boy, what great turnout. And, it's a big social event as well. And so I think the most sellers we've ever had and the most buyers, and the weather could not have been better. Clearing with that N6FMD, and good morning, Greg. I hope you had a great boat day. KO6TH, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Greg, KO6G. Yes, a boat day. Very successful. I had 3 projects. Got pretty much, well, not totally all done, but great progress on all. The kitchen galley is the boat galley is the kitchen area is now devoid of anything involving gas, as in propane. So all that stuff's gone, nice and clean, ready for the new cooktop to go in, the induction stuff. And I think I've figured out how I'm going to do that. So I got some carpentry to do and staining and varnishing and all that kind of stuff. But that should be pretty easy. I think I have the dimensions. Got a few things to figure out. The boat now has an upgraded audio system, stereo. It had a remember CD players? It had one of those. It was past the 8-track days, but it had a CD. It was kind of grungy. It worked, but kind of weirdly, and had outputs but no inputs. And I needed a way of getting to the boat speakers from the PC. So I got a $50. These things are cheap. A new car stereo. It's got Android Auto and CarPlay, Bluetooth, AM/FM, of course. Forget the CD player. If I need that, I'll put it on the computer. So the connections. I need to redo the connections. Those little crimp things don't work well on thin wire. So I brought my soldering iron, forgot the solder. Darn it. So I got to go back and redo that. But it's working. It's working. And the ham radio that I picked up at the swap meet, along with the antenna from the swap meet, tested those in the environment. They seem to be working pretty well. Got some choices of where to put things, so got to work on that. Then I got to decide if it's worth holding out for a radio with a USB interface or not. That's the big the only gap that I've got right now. So really successful day. Got back, and then this morning it started raining. Oh, we had a power failure. Did power go out with you guys? KO6GH.
No, we did not lose power, which is kind of interesting because I know the power comes through our area before I think it passes over to North Auburn there. So surprised. Yeah, ours no flicker or anything that I'm aware of. So very good on the new stereo, and automotive stereos. The prices really have come down, and even the inexpensive ones usually have pretty decent amplification and a good low noise amplification. And the importance of inputs nowadays, that's definitely something much better than jamming in a cassette or adapter that we needed to use if we ever wanted to hook up our devices. Question, so is propane completely off the boat now? I never understood propane. I always used alcohol for my stove. But propane, not much worse place that you could use propane.
Yeah, the whole idea of pumping a heavier than air flammable gas into an enclosed environment like a boat and then setting a light on purpose does not sit well. So it's gone. The pipe is out of there. The locker is still in the back of the boat. I haven't decided if I want to convert that to something to run the barbecue or not. I'm thinking that I could use the space, take that thing out, take out the locker. It's worth a good penny because of the regulatory environment that they work in. It's all nicely plumbed and everything. It's a perfect, it's well done. So I don't know. I got to decide what I want to do there. But the hose going into the cabin is gone, and the range is gone. The stereo works well. Inputs. It's got USB. It's got Bluetooth, AM/FM, of course, from the antenna, and what else? There's something else in there. So that's all working great. The power failure. It was here in Auburn yesterday. I'm driving down the road. Didn't see the notice that it went out, but I get there about 10:30. It says, "Hey, by the way, it's PG&E calling. Your power is back on." I said, "What?" Of course, I'm 2.5 hours away by car, so it's like, okay. I know my system; it should be working just fine. I get home and there's, one of the lead UPS, the battery is shot, and not only did it beep for the entire day, sorry, Millie, it didn't turn back on again. I mean, yeah, the battery's gone, but at least when the power comes back, at least feed power back through. It did not do so. So the system is running us off the battery and the solar, which is fine. It still had 75% of the battery when I got home, and I'm at 61% now, but because ran overnight. The power, this power's back on here, and it's out for about almost exactly 1 hour, 59 minutes, which is suspicious. But yeah, so tour for the day is I got to go out. And there's another UPS in the living room that does a lamp that I have on a little unit. So I need to get some batteries, and that's the chore for the afternoon. So with the two of the 9 amp hours and one, I think it's a 5 amp hour. KO6TH.
All right, yeah, most boats that I've owned, I just use the Magma. I've owned several Magma grills, and yeah, I just went with the hang-on propane canister, or yeah, I think it was propane. But yeah, just a little canister that attached to them. I often wondered, if they would get beat up and I would lose my grill, my barbecue over the side, but those things, they build them pretty beefy, and I just liked the idea of just having a canister, small canister on board rather than having a larger propane supply and hoses and that sort of thing. So good luck on that, and my backup batteries, I swapped out to a couple that were in a little better condition, and so recycled my old ones. So I now am back up to 2 hours of probably right around 100 amp hour total runtime. So I will make it through power outages, at least keeping the radios on. And also, I know you have signed a net control operator for the Canyons run, but just kind of a shout, thank you. And I got a list that I'm on there as well. But yeah, we are certainly looking for net control operators for the Canyons run. That's at the end of April. January, February, March. Yeah, April, end of April. And so they are looking for net control operators. Greg is going to be working a shift or two, as will I. And Canyons, of course, we will have no Coffee Break Net. So any net control operator out there who was saying, "Oh, I'm going to have to do the Coffee Break Net on Saturday," no, you won't. Anyway, thanks for volunteering, and I know they are looking for more volunteers for the upcoming Canyons event endurance run.
Yes, the Canyons run, April 20, what is it, the 20, end of the month, 25th. 4th, 5th, and 6th, I think, is the that weekend. Yeah, it's a great event. Neat thing about being a net control operator is you get to work indoors in an air-conditioned or heated space, depending on the climate that day, and it's a lot of fun. It can be interesting in a radio and things going bad kind of way, but it's very rewarding, and definitely recommend that. I've done it several years now, so I'll be there. I think my shift's on Saturday, but I'm flexible on when they need me. So anyway, yeah. So let's see, nothing on the news about the outage yesterday. North outage. No, just a reporting site. Anyway, and what else was there? Oh, the propane. The boat currently has one of those Magma grills with the hang-on propane thing. I think maybe what I'll do, I've had trouble in the past, doesn't happen often, but with a propane cylinder that you unscrew it, and it goes, keeps on spurting gas out, even though it's disconnected. Maybe some dirt got in there or something. But maybe use the locker just to store the propane, one of those cylinders, one or more of the cylinders, and put it in a closed locker with a vent overboard to prevent that from getting into places it shouldn't be. So I think maybe that's the best approach. Yeah, the barbecue's there with the hang-on thing. The grill is kind of. I wouldn't want to put anything I was going to eat on it. So that's got to get replaced. But yeah. Anyway, on with the day. You guys have a good day. Say hi to Lynn, and we'll talk to you. What's today? Tuesday. I'll talk to you tomorrow, I guess. 73 from KO6TH.
The great thing about those Magma griddles or barbecues is that replacement parts readily available. So if it's kind of nasty, what you can't clean up with a little barkeeper, you probably can be replaced with parts. They have parts, I think, from the day they started manufacturing. But yeah, I always put the plastic cap back on those canisters when I'm done. And when I kept them on board, I always used to just put a little squirt of WD-40 in that cap, just so there was a little bit of something in there to help maybe keep the rust at bay. Have a great day. We're Greg, KO6TH, AI6US Coffee Break Net. Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net here on the W6EK Repeater. Let's go ahead and take check-ins. Another round of check-ins. Who's out there?
WU6X. KO6KBH.
TIN.
All right, good morning, Steve, and N5TIN, and good morning to Tim, KO6KBH, and good morning, Dennis, WU6X. Did I miss anyone?
W2VX.
Good morning, Doug, W2VX. All right, let's head up to the top. Good morning, Dennis, WU6X. I didn't talk to you since the Hamfest, but great job. Thank you for volunteering. And boy, what a turnout. You worked the gate, welcoming the sellers in. So you probably have a good idea, but I think that was the largest turnout of sellers I've seen at our event.
Hey, good morning, Brian and the net. Yeah, I think you're right. It was a steady stream. I can't remember it ever being backed up all the way out onto Taylor Road like it was before we opened the gate. I mean, that was pretty impressive and a little bit hard to deal with. We'll have to kind of figure out what to do next year, but maybe stage them in the parking lots or something. But anyway, yeah, it was an incredible event. I was just looking through the pictures. Oh, my gosh, great pictures. I can't remember the name of the fellow, but he did a great job, and I contributed about 4 or 5, I think, but he took a lot of great pictures, and it was really fun going through it, and I saw a lot of stuff that I wish I would have bought that was gone by the time I left the gate to get around to look at the stuff. But yeah, it was a great turnout. Let's see, not a whole lot going on. I'm still playing around with 3D printing and the CAD software that I picked up yesterday, and that's kind of fun. I do have a question for you at some point. Maybe give me a call on the phone about the WiresX upgrade. I'm kind of getting two sides of that, incompatibility issues and those kind of things. Maybe you know more about it than I do at this point, but I am not going to upgrade, but I'm reading that if I don't, I can't talk to people that have, which is kind of weird. Yaesu pushing us in a different direction. Anyway, that's what I know so far. WU6X.
Yeah, it's interesting what's going on with WiresX right now. I had a conversation with Sal, K6SAL, and I know that they've been trying to get all the different repeaters out there to upgrade their HRI 200 experience to the new WiresX software. And I understand the limitation because the people that have purchased the radios, the FT DX1, are not able to get into the Wires X repeaters like ours. So, the folks that have upgraded are not able, or people with the FTDX1 are not able to get into our repeaters. But then if we upgrade our repeater software, then we run into our own limitations. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. We have two somewhat supportive versions of Wires X out there. They want everybody to upgrade in unison, and I just don't see that's going to happen. So, yeah, I'm equally as confused as you as to the best path, because if we don't upgrade our Vault HRA Wires X software, then people that have bought the FTDX1 cannot check in with the because the Wires C4FM Wires X capability was just enabled on that. So, yeah, Dennis, you're not alone. I'm trying to figure out how to handle this as well.
Yeah, it's really a shame Yaesu did that. They should have really worked a little harder on that and made it backward compatible. So, I don't know. It seems like we're being forced to do something again that is going to cause a problem. I feel for the FTX1 folks, but yeah, they should have fixed that software so it was backward compatible. Anyway, that's neither here nor there at this point. I guess we're kind of hang out. I'm not going to upgrade yet, but I think we're probably going to have to do it at some point. Otherwise, yeah, we'll lock out the FTX1 guys. Burton won't be able to check in anymore. Anyway, back to CAD. It's a real learning experience, good for the mind, I guess. And just a little bit frustrating, but it's a good learning experience. I picked up a new CAD program yesterday, and $2 a month, and working with that is really easy to use, so I'm kind of screwing around with that this morning. Anyway, that's it. AI6US, W6EK.
Yeah, Burton, and there's several others. I know Aaron, W1ATB, and if they want to check in and use our repeater, and make that connection, they are going to need to have it. And I think it's more important, the people that want to get in using the personal PDN mode. I think that's really going to start being a limiting factor. But yeah, I do not understand why Yaesu took this path. But hey, nothing like taking a niche user group and even splitting it up more. W6EK, a pleasure to see you at the Hamfest one more year, and you always do such a great job in welcoming people, sellers especially, into the lot so early in the morning. And what a great problem to have. Too many sellers wanting to get in and set up. But I'm sure, like everything else, we'll get it figured out. Always appreciate everything there. Dennis, you have a great day. And, yeah, I have not made the jump into 3D printing yet. I was hoping to win that Bamboo Labs A1 Mini. It didn't happen, so I guess I'm going to have to check to see if there's anything left in my wallet. I think I'm starting to get left behind if I don't get into that. W6EK, AI6US. Have a great day, Dennis. 7-3.
Okay, you too. Yeah, they called that 3D printing hobby another rabbit hole. Catch you later. W6EK.
Oh, my ankles can't take falling into too many more rabbit holes. Have a great day, Dennis. Hey, good morning, Tim. KO6KVH.
Good morning, Brian and the net. Hopefully I'm coming into the repeater all right. I'm a little winded. I'm out walking my dog with my little HT and a Bree antenna swap. How's everybody doing today? Back to you.
I heard that you bought an Abri antenna from the ham swap. Is that 42.5-inch Abri? I have one of those. They work great. I can tell you're probably in motion, but you're making it into the repeater just fine.
Yeah, it is an Abri. It's the 72 millimeter one, or centimeter one. It's about 28.5 inches. Didn't opt for the big boy, but yeah, this works great. I'm really surprised. I can listen to the Coffee Break Net on my morning walk with my dog, so I'm pretty stoked, man. Yeah, always good to have your Coffee Break Net on the go. So back to you, Brian.
Yeah, I carry around the 42.5-inch in the backpack, so when we're out in fringe areas, it's just something that I can put on. I've adapted all my radios over to use BNC rather than destroying the SMA with constant antenna changes. But I got to tell you, the 42.5-inch, if you go to our club website, our club YouTube channel, Gerry, W6EK, and myself did experiments, and I was up at Robinson Flat on a 42.5-inch Bree, running a half a watt and full copy down in Folsom. And yeah, you switch over to the Yaesu antenna that comes with the radio, and it was just like you'd have to go full power, and then it was just half the signal. So yeah, they are quite the antennas, but they are they're a weapon. Don't fold them up.
Yeah. I did run a little test with my backpack and ran it up through some Molly and did some coax into the backpack with a 25-watt mobile on I think a 4-amp-hour battery, and I didn't make any contact or anything, but just for giggles and the other word, it was quite the setup, and yeah, fit the mic, ran the mic right out, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I like that it's so durable and you don't have to worry about, crushing it or bending the tip, which you see with a lot of regular whips.
Yeah, well, they're tactical. That's how they're sold. They're tactical. I look at it and go, oh yeah, that's a measuring tape inside. Yeah, but they work. They certainly do. Well, great. Hopefully you had an enjoyable ham fest. And the weather couldn't have been better, and great company, that is for sure.
Well, yeah. I think the Coffee Break Net has something to do with that, where the sun is always shining, the birds are chirping, and the fish are jumping. Brian, I'm going to clear out of here. 7-3 to you in the net. Back to you. KO6 KBH.
Well, thanks for checking in this morning, Tim. And yeah, go out and finish that dog run. You have a wonderful day. Maybe you're even dodging some raindrops. Hey, good morning, Steve. N5TIN. What do you have for the net this morning?
Good morning, Brian, and everybody on the net. Well, like someone a few moments ago, I'm sitting at my computer this morning working with various CAD and CAM packages, getting ready to try to put in some work on another project I have going. I'll get this wrapped up here in a hopefully not too distant future, like 30-40 minutes maybe, and I'll get out to the workshop, see if I can fire up the CNC.
All right, is this on a personal project, or are you out on hire? Are we driving up somebody's hourly rate?
Oh, this is all personal. I retired a few years back, so the only people that I ever do work for is my former employer on an as-needed occasional basis, and that kind of all dried up. I guess it's been about a year ago. So I'm still here if they need me, but they don't seem to need me.
Oh, I know that feeling. For about 3 years after I got out of film and video production, I kept having people calling me, and I would pick up the jobs that I enjoy doing. But yes, they started trickling off, and after the second or third refusal, they just quit calling. And then suddenly you start feeling more and more out of the loop, and then you see some youngster out there that probably wasn't even born when I retired doing the job. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Well,
I understand that for a lot of people, you get much more busy the more you get into claiming retirement.
Well, that's certainly been true for me. I've got a list of projects that I'm working my way through, and so far it's proving to be a list I never get to the bottom of. And and if somebody were to call me today, by the way, and say, "Hey, would you like to come back and meet the mobile unit at the ballpark and run videotape for a couple of games?" I would say, "No, I'm not going back inside that metal box."
It's really interesting. The public always sees, oh, you're part of the TV crew. How fascinating. Yeah. I've stayed in a lot of hotels that I wasn't even sure what city I was in, and like you said, sat in a lot of boxes and no windows in there. And my game was a little monitor off to the side. Oh, how exciting. You got to attend the playoffs. Yeah, you probably enjoyed a lot more than I did on your 65-inch big screen. But, hey, I got paid for it, right? That's how I got into film and video production, by the way. Was a friend of mine was doing the Texas Ranger preseason games out of Pompano Beach, Florida. And he invited me along just to hang out with him and see what he did. I attended a couple of times. The second or third time game I went to hang out at a spring training game. One of the camera operators came down ill, and I just happened to be sitting in the truck, and my friend nudged me and said, "Yeah, tell the director you'll run the camera." And I ended out behind second base, outfield camera, and the tip that was given to me was aim the camera. It's not a moving shot. Let go of the handles, and you'll be invited back. So that's how I got into it. How did you get into it, Steve?
Well, I got into it by way of a college degree in production and then a job at a local television station. But, your point about people saying, that's awesome, that's a great job, I'd love to have that. I flash back to one of the very first football games I did. It was the University of Texas game, and I was running an end zone camera back when I ran a little camera for the... And I was standing behind an old TK-47, if you remember those, and the weather was bad, it was drizzly, it was cold, and at the kickoff, my camera died, and I stood behind a non-working camera for the entire game, just in case they were able to get it working again. Never did.
Oh, yeah, I remember that camera. The lens was usually twice as heavy as the body, and, big old the viewfinder chunk. I remember setting those things up many, many times. Well, probably one of the most exciting times I ever had running a camera was being electrocuted, being the grounding source for the entire system. Now, out in the middle of a wet football field, standing there with the camera on my shoulder and feeling my pacemaker kick on because the umbilical cable connected up to the camera, and I was a great grounding source, and I just that common mode current running through me triggered I had a pacemaker for several years because of a lightning incident, not related to television production in a way. But anyway, I asked my grip, I said, "Can I borrow one of your gloves?" And he said, "Sure, why?" And I said, "Well, I put it on my hand that was resting on the focus ring and the other So you kind of you get my drift."
Well, I think you have me beat. I don't think I've ever been electrocuted. But tales of yore from days of being younger. Oh, and I'll add, by the way, on that TK-47, we had to pull the cables for those, and they were multi-core.
Yep, my first job as I was going through film school down in Miami was they came to the school and said, hey, we need people to help out with the first Miami Grand Prix. I thought, oh, that sounds fun. That's going to be great, yeah. I think we had 18 miles, I think it was 18 miles of triax and multi-core to wind up and to clear the streets within 2 hours after the Miami Grand Prix was over. You get good at over-under, and you learn that you don't want to be a grip very long.
I don't know that we ever over-undered the multi-core. I remember doing it in big figure eights, but that stuff sure was heavy, and I do not miss it at all. So one of the reasons I made the shift into the tape room and off the camera was I liked working sitting down and being out of the weather.
No, you're right. The multi-core was the figure eight, but the triax we would do an over/under. But then the company got reels for us, and did a lot of golf tournaments, a lot of golf for ESPN and affiliates, being down in Florida. Oh, good memories, bad memories, but they were fun times. The camaraderie, and then it really got me to focus on my camera skills, and then I ultimately became a director of photography and Steadicam operator, and enjoyed many years of doing that. But got to tell you, I was going through my box of photos, and the opportunities to meet so many interesting people and travel the world. Would have never had that opportunity to do that had it not been for film and video production. So, we lament about the time sitting in the back of a production truck, but there were some pretty interesting times and interesting people that I would not have met otherwise.
Same here. I, got to meet some very interesting people and had some fun doing it. And but I also learned a few things that I didn't expect when I started. And there are some stories about people I could tell who everybody would say, oh, I know that guy, and I recognize that name, but I have to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, every once in a while when a celebrity dies, you remember working with them and go, it took this long? But there's been some incredible celebrities that on their public persona you would think they were just totally jerks, and in person they were just wonderful people. So you cannot judge a book by its PR cover. Well, Steve, pleasure talking with you. The more we talk, the more I realize we have in common, and we'll have to compare birth mothers at some point. Have a great day, Steve.
Okay, Brian, and I would just add to your crack about it took that long, I would add, and who did it? Because there were a few times I was tempted, but never carried that out. All right, Brian, well, you have a good day, and we'll check in with you another time, and I'll let you get to the other folks here waiting to have the opportunity to check into the net. So, see you later. AI6US and the Coffee Break Net, this is N5TIN.
Oh, that's funny. You got me laughing there, Steve. When what should have been a 10-hour day, 18 hours, sometimes, the urge to the urge really did exist. Have a great day, Steve. N5TIN, AI6US. Let's head on down to Never Never Land Labs into L2. Good morning, Doug. W6EK.
Good morning, Brian. I'm just standing outside saying good morning to my timeshare neighborhood dog, Penny, who's a little miniature Aussie, and she's come over here to get some treats. And about an hour ago, one of the neighborhood cats came over named Caramel Apple. She's about as old as an old apple tree, and she came over to get some treats too. So it's treat morning since I'm not going for a bike ride.
You know, Doug, if you wouldn't have brought up that cat, I was going to ask that you have a resident seat warmer down in your shack. You just attract all of the animals. Good morning to you. What do you have going on today now that this rain or possible muddy paths interrupted your trip to the river?
Well, I'm still digging out from, all of the remnants of trying to sort through things to get rid of at the Hamfest. And then, you know what? I was going to the Hamfest to sell a lot of stuff, and I looked at it and I said, I don't think that there's any value in any of it, and I'm not sure that anybody really wants any of it. So I took it over to the recycling center for Auburn and said, here, somebody will grind it up and make something out of it anew. So I'm just trying to put things back on the shelves and get a little bit organized, because I went through there like a tornado trying to get rid of stuff.
Doug. You know, one ham's trash is another ham's treasure. Did you hear the weeping, wailing, and grating of teeth as you said, instead of taking it to the Hamfest, I just took it direct to the recycling center? Honestly, some people probably would have been better off taking their trailer there than Hamfest, but there's always great stuff to have a conversation about.
Yeah, well, the really cool thing was that when I wasn't selling, I got to have breakfast with Teresa. We showed up. We had a great time walking around and talking to people, looking at the things that other people had to sell. I bought a few things that I really didn't need, which is the normal way that I operate at ham swaps. And I brought it home, and I put it on the test bench to test it, and it's going to go into a drawer, whatever that was that I bought, and maybe at some point I'll remember that I've got it, and I'll bring it out and use it for a special, some kind of a test to test something else that needs to be tested. That's the way I roll.
Contact.
Go ahead, Graydon.
Thank you, Brian. Doug, while I have you on here, I ran across some stuff this morning that, the first person that came to mind that could possibly use this was some IC, various sizes and configuration IC clamp-on devices, so you can actually clamp on an IC while it's in a circuit and measure what's going on with the IC. You can actually monitor the IC, test it. I also ran into some IC insertion tools, which are really neat. They go right down on the board. You put the IC in and put it down on the board, and they just plug the IC in for you. Can you use those? If you can, I'll get them over to you.
Permission to go direct?
Oh, Graydon needs all the help he can. Go direct. Graydon, I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I'm not getting a word of that.
Heck no.
I'm sure if Doug said something, we would have been enthralled and Doug, give us a short transmission. You did not make the repeater at all. It was just dropping. Yeah, no hearsy. We don't hear you there. So I'm not sure what's going on, Doug.
Well, Doug can give me a call. I just happened to be running across it on the bins and stuff from the swap meet, and Doug was the first person I thought of, and then he came on the radio. Thank you, Brian. And at your next round, Brian, if you could put me in for a quick second opportunity today. I have a real quick story on opportunity that kind of matches your story on how you got into the film industry. KC6, SLE.
All right, hang around for a moment there. Let's see if Doug reconnects. W2VX, are you back?
I don't know, Brian. Am I back? I shut down DV switch and just see how it works.
You sound mild. Go ahead and repeat everything that you already said. We got zero of it.
The short version is a pick and place machine that's like a 25 reel pick and place machine. I've got all of the tools necessary in order to make circuit boards, and I don't believe I've made one in 2 years. And I think that this pick and place machine, a really nice one, is to go over to the recycler itself.
So Graydon, I think his answer is no, I don't need that. And boy, before you get rid of that pick and pull, I'm thinking of a project that people are working on to replicate the voice module for a Kenwood radio. So don't get rid of that pick and pull too fast. Hey Graydon, anything to add? Your date for the prom has been turned down.
I had to give it a try, you know. It's always tenuous with Doug. No, I'm just teasing. They're just nice little tools. You don't run across them too often. I'm not going to throw them away. I put them in a baggie, and we'll find somebody in the club. I'll probably check with Don Hay next. He does a lot of repair work. They'd be really great devices for people doing repair work, diagnostic work. Thank you, Brian. KC6 SLE, and thank you, Doug.
All right. Hey, Doug, back over to you. And anything else to wrap up your check-in? And it was great seeing you and Teresa down at the Ham Fest. And glad to hear that you didn't buy out all the inventory.
Yeah, and as an after event, I went over to Jim Jubin's place and helped him sort through some things and decide, you know, what made sense and who might want it and that kind of thing. So I enjoyed going to the Ham Fest. I always enjoyed going to the Ham Fest, whether I'm selling or whether I'm volunteering or whatever it is, and looking forward to next year as well. Brian, that's all I got. 7 threes to everybody, and try to stay dry.
All right, Doug. Yeah, the amount of rain we're getting up here in Meta Vista, it's not going to be very hard to stay dry. Just a slight 1-foot direction step to the left or right will probably keep me out of harm's way. Hey, Doug, thank you so much for everything you do for the club. And yeah, I didn't realize that there was a secondary sort going on. And I'm going to have to figure out what Jim still has. You have a great day. Clearing with W2VX. Let's revisit KC6 story time. Go ahead.
You know, you never know when or where opportunity will strike. But a good friend of mine that's into cars and builds cars, he really does a good job. He actually has worked for Chip Booth on overhauling, but he was taking his car down I-5 to a show in L.A., and he spotted another hot rudder along the road that was broken down. So he made a quick stop, pulled over, and he helped the guy get his car running, and they got it limped into Bakersfield, and they got it to a place to where it could be worked on. But the guy asked him, he said, you know, you're heading, obviously you're heading the same show I am. He says, how about I buy you dinner tonight when I finally get there? And he said, fine. So he went to dinner with him. Let me take a quick break. And they got to talking. It turned out this guy was one of the top that does the pace cars, drives the pace cars for races. And he was talking to Craig about it, and Craig said, boy, that sounds really fascinating, that sounds really interesting. And the guy says, well, how would you like to give it a try? So a few weekends later, they went to Thunder Mountain. I think you know Thunder Mountain, the road course in the North California area. And he let Craig actually lead the race and start the race. And since then, he did that big time. It's just strange how the door opened, the opportunity came about because he pulled over and did a good Samaritan act on the side of the road, but got him into a whole new area he never thought about before. But he's been a pace car driver ever since. KC6 SLE.
Isn't it something how these chance encounters and just going out of your way to help somebody, or just to show interest in them, really can open a door. Cool. Thanks for sharing that story. And I just think of things that have happened in life because of chance encounters. Most of them good.
I agree. I just wanted to pass that along. Thanks for the chance for a second recheck. KC6.
I just think of all the cool people I would not have met had I not gotten back into amateur radio. Hopefully some of the people feel the same about meeting me, but I certainly have met some incredible, incredible people in this hobby. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. I'm Brian, AI6US, and just a reminder, we are going to be having, tomorrow evening, are we having, first Wednesday of the month is going to be tomorrow, April Fool's Day, but I'm not fooling you right now. Tomorrow evening will be the Elmernet here on this repeater, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And that's always fun. People bring their questions and problems, and maybe they're going to buy something, or maybe they're having an antenna or grounding issue or something, and or maybe a mobile discussion. We always have a great evening at the Elmernet, 7:30 p.m., first and third Wednesday of the month here on the repeater, so that's tomorrow evening. And just a reminder, next week, a week from this Friday, will be the upcoming club meeting at the new location, Placer County HHS Conference Center at the Auburn DeWitt Center. Easy access off of I-80. Just take I-80 to the Bell Road exit, and a very quick and easy to get to our new location. So check it out on the W6EK.org website and join us for the upcoming club meeting on April 10th at 7:30 p.m. And Jim, WA8MPA, will be giving a presentation. We'll look forward to that. Let's see, some other things coming up here. Fox Hunt and Breakfast coming up the last Saturday of April at Mel's Diner. Mel's Diner in Auburn, California on Highway 49. Breakfast at 7:30 a.m. Then Matt, K06IMP, is going to be our Fox tender for the upcoming Fox Hunt on April 25th. We'll be meeting for a pre-hunt meeting, 9 a.m. in the Mel's parking lot in Auburn, California on Highway 49. Mark your calendar, donuts and coffee in the park, yes. Hosted by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club and the Coffee Break Net Control operators will be serving you up donuts and coffee. Donuts and coffee in the park coming up here May 9th at 9 a.m. at Auburn's Recreation Park. We're going to be meeting at the Picnic Pavilion. And, bring out your ham radio, maybe set up a little portable operation in the park. Hang out,
chat with friends, donuts, have some coffee, 9 a.m. at Recreation Park in Auburn, California. Everyone is invited, and we'll probably be putting out an RSVP on that soon. Well, with that, let's go ahead and let's see, look at the time here. Boy, we're getting pretty close to 10 o'clock. So let's just start, let's just do this round of in and outs only. Say a quick good morning and get on your way. I'm Brian, AI6US. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net. We're taking quick in and outs.
And for our N6 MED this morning, Brian.
Kilo Oscar 6, Charlie Oscar Whiskey, quick in and out.
KN6 USH, in and out.
Whiskey 6, Sierra Tango Whiskey, Maurice, in and out.
Paul Golf 8, Whiskey, Victoria, Victoria. Paul Golf 8, Whiskey, Victoria, Victoria. 73, everyone. In and out from the Philippines.
N6, Kilo, November, Whiskey, Equipment Uniform, AN6WQ. Good morning, Brian.
All right, going to need some fills here. Got you there, Dan, KN6WQU. And I heard, it sounded like maybe Rob in there. I heard an N6 and then you got stomped on. Mercilessly stomped. Is that you, Rob? Full call, please.
It is indeed N6 XYZ.
Got you there, Rob. N6XYZ. Then I had a 4 Golf 8 Whiskey Victor, Whiskey Victor out of the Philippines. Your name and location, and this is a round of quick in and out, so we'll be back to you. So your name and location in the Philippines.
Yeah, KSL, my call sign is Paul Golf 8, Whiskey, Victor, Victor. My handle is Make November India Charlie Kilo from General Santos City here in the Philippines, KSL.
Okay, very good, Nick. We will be back to you in just a moment for a quick in and out. Thank you for joining us from General Santos. And good morning to Maurice, W6 Sierra Tango Whiskey. Good morning to Mike, KN6USH. Good morning, John, KO6COW. And good morning to Jim, N6MED. And good morning to Kathy, KQ4SDX. And if I missed you, I'll come back for another round in just a moment. Just a reminder, these are quick in and outs. Let's keep their in and outs to under 2 minutes, please. Respect other people's time. Good morning. Up first will be Kathy, KQ4SDX. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Brian and the Net, and Dad and Ed, and I have a correction for you.
New call sign?
N4RD, November 4, Romeo Delta.
Woo-hoo! See, we didn't jinx it by giving it away. Very good. Congratulations. And tell us if the N4 Romeo Delta has special meaning.
Well, to me, it stands for nerd. My son called me a nerd when I got my ham license, and I thought I would embrace it. I wanted a prestigious 4-digit call sign or 4-character call, so I went for it. And I had a 16.4% chance of getting it, and only at 9 o'clock this morning, I got the email of approval. Got my license in hand now.
Well, congratulations. So now you're going to have to change your call sign on the Clear Node or on your app.
Still showing up as KQ4SGX on Super. So, yeah, you'll need to update that in your app there. But congratulations. Yeah, 16% chance of getting the call, but you got it. And not that bad. Continue working on CW. Maybe somebody can tell you what the rating is on that for CW op, but not a bad call for CW.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited that it starts with November as well. It's my mother's birthday month, so that's special too.
Oh, and another thing that should make it special to you, November is my birth month as well. Like that means anything. Congratulations, Kathy, N4RD. I'm just going to have to drill that into my brain. It might take a couple check-ins, but congratulations.
Thank you so much, Brian. Sorry, I got a phone call that interrupted. I think it's going to interrupt again. Can you hear me?
Ooh, we heard you, and now you're gone. Okay. Well, so next time you hear that call sign, N4RD, that is going to be Kathy, so very cool. And let's see, good morning to Jim, N6MED.
Good morning, Brian, and to the net. Yeah, pretty short this morning, but just want to share a success, an antenna success, and particularly for all of those on the net this morning that might be real estate challenged, like I am, and it's really difficult to put up any kind of a 40-meter or below band antenna. I had an end-fed, but it was over my roof. It came down, and I'm way past climbing up on roofs. Well, I'd heard about a folded-back dipole, which they're the same length as a regular dipole, so much for that. Well, I then discovered a linear-fed dipole. So as contrasted to 66 feet for 40-meter dipole, a linear fed is only 46 feet, and with great success with it. The way I built it was window line and cut a notch out of it on one side, and the other side, went to the midpoint and for the feed point. Anyway, 46 feet for a 40-meter dipole. Who'd have thunk? N6 MED.
Well, very good. Yes, indeed. And I think Dennis coined the term a BTN, better than nothing. What's the best antenna? One that gets you on the air. So glad to hear that, and glad you're back on HF.
Roger that in spades. So, a couple days ago when 40 was hot, it was, wow, nice, and it performs well, But just reached across the back of my yard. I got a 60 by 100-foot lot. So there I am, with a few feet to spare. Anyway, if anybody wants further information on it, I've got a very good article to the effect, and my email address is in the roster. N6MED. Bye-bye.
Always good to hear of a successful antenna build and something that gets people back on the air. Good to hear that, Jim. You have a wonderful day. Clearing with N6MED. Good morning, John, KO6COW. Good to hear you on. Great to see you and Jaden at the Hamfest, though we didn't get to talk. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. John, KO6COW. Yeah, we had to leave early. Jaden and his mom got on the road for Seattle that same day, so we couldn't stay too long. I managed to pick up some cable for Summits on the Air activations. I need something a little shorter just to lighten the load a bit. But yeah, sorry we didn't get to say hi, but it's just a quick trip in there for us. But we're going to attempt a Summit to Summit, father and son Summit to Summit later on this week, maybe Thursday or Friday. We'll see what happens. We haven't done that yet, but we'll try to light it up on 20 meter and see what happens.
Okay, 20 meters, summit to summit. So what summits are you planning?
I'm probably going to maybe go Red Mountain above Loon Lake. It's a little 6-pointer. I'm not sure he's picked his soda out yet, and he may actually be in Canada for it, but he said there's some 4- and 6-pointers up there, so we'll see what happens. But, yeah, maybe Thursday or Friday later this week.
Okay, go prepared to also try 40 meters. 20 meters sometimes is a stretch for that, for a north-south that time of day. So, yeah, you might just go prepared if you can to go 40 meters if it's the right time of day. But very cool. Wish you luck, father to son, summit to summit. Sounds fun. Good to see you.
All right, thanks, Brian. And I'll try to do this in 20 seconds, but on the summits on the air activation once, Jaden and I accidentally drop-checked a Araby trifold antenna down about 30 feet on a granite stone, and I thought, oh, that thing's going to be done. But guess what? It still worked just fine on our next summits on the air, so those things are quite durable. Back to you from KO6COW.
Takes a licking and keeps on transmitting. Have a great day, John. Clearing with KO6COW, AI6US. And good morning, Mike, KN6USH.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Ned. It's Mike, KN6USH. I'm closing the doors at the back of this trailer. Just waking up from my nap when they rap on the door. Funny when you get up at 3 in the morning. Yeah, staying awake can be a little challenging, especially when you're sitting still. But luckily, I found another morning coffee net on the East Coast reflector this morning, so that was fun to listen to.
Yeah, you heard me disconnect them. I had the radio turned down, and I came into the radio room, and I heard a station bridging some nodes there, and I put a call out. There was no operator, so we dropped the node, and you said, hey. That node they were bridged to brought you some entertainment, so I'm glad to hear that this morning, Mike. Well, so 3 a.m. early driving day for you today, so I guess getting up at 4 a.m. for the setup for the Hamfest was a sleep-in day for you.
Yeah, that it was. So I don't know. This is something that's tough to get used to, especially so short after a time change, daylight savings and all that. But you know, we're persevere through it all. And the reason I do it is because I started a maintenance cycle on my vehicles. First up was tires for the pickup truck, and this next is Jeep, and then I got to do a brake job on the pickup truck. I don't know about the Jeep yet, but if it's close, it's going to get done, because you got to have a safe vehicle.
Especially if you love your wife. All right. Hey, Mike, thanks for checking in this morning, and be safe out there. KN6USH, 73.
73, Brian, KN6USH.
And next, W6STW for a quick in and out. Good morning, Maurice.
I heard you all talk about traveling all over the world. Well, I have lived and traveled all over the world. And even though I've been retired for about 6 years, I decided to take a job at Abu Dhabi last year for 1 year for the tax-free benefit. But unfortunately, I only lasted 6 months. I got tired of the one-day weekend. I got tired of the one-hour commute. And I finally got tired of my boss.
Mind me asking, what line of work were you in that took you to Abu Dhabi?
I repair and maintain medical equipment. In fact, I've been doing that for over 30 years before I retired.
Well, that's great. Sorry that the that the boss and the location and the hours, though I don't know if that would have given you overtime or if it was just a contract. But yeah, some of those things, I don't miss being in the Million Mile Air Club anymore either.
I understand. I got tired of those 14-hour flights. In fact, I went to the Millie several times over the years, and those 14-hour flights get long and longer all the time.
Yeah, just, pick your airline carefully, because 14 hours in one airline is a whole lot longer than others. Well, how interesting. An opportunity to work in Abu Dhabi. I'm sure they had quite the benefits package to dangle over you, but sometimes it just isn't worth it. But I'm sure it definitely enhanced the checkbook. Okay. Well, good morning to you. Did you get a hold of Carl in 6CKV?
I went on the RRL website. I tried to register, but they didn't recognize my call sign for some reason, even though it's on their website. So I'm going to have to email them and register, then email Carl.
No, you should just be able to use your regular email address in 6CKV at arrl.net, and you do not need to be a member to send an email to that address. So, yeah, you should be able to just do it from your regular email program.
Okay, got it, and nice talking to you. Back to Net Control, W6STW.
All right, Maurice, you have a wonderful day, and good talking with you. Let's head over to Mindanao, Philippines. Good morning, Nick. KG8WVV. Thanks for hanging around. Good morning to you. Well, it shows that we're still connected for G8WVV in the Philippines. He's still there? All right, nothing heard. We have Nick in the log. Good morning, Rob, in 6XYZ. We missed having you at Hamfest, but hope all is well with you. Good morning.
Morning. And congratulations to Kathy, and that's an awesome call sign. I fully embrace the nerd. Just getting ready to head out of town. Older son's already on spring break, younger one's heading off next week, and wife and older ones have already flown the coop down to Hawaii, and we're going to follow behind on Thursday.
All right, headed over to Hawaii to collect some lava. Cool. What island you going to?
Maui, and her dad's got his place up on the market, so I don't know. Are we thinking this is Swan Song? We're not quite sure.
Okay. Yeah, I know quite a few of those areas were really swamped with heavy rainfall. Hopefully that didn't impact your plans.
It seems not to have so far. I think we were worried a little bit more about TSA, but that seems to have turned out as well. Thank you for thinking of me with the planning for Hamfest. I'm sorry that I couldn't follow through, but Mom is better for all of that, so appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Life gets in the way of our hobbies once in a while, and we understood completely. I stepped into the role and kind of finished buying the prizes, and then I had the opportunity to be the person behind the prize table along with Gerry and Ron and Lori, and we really had a great time. And Aaron W6EK chipped in there and bought and solicited a bunch more donations. Over $2,700 worth of prizes were were awarded. So it was a really effective event, and hopefully we can get you involved in a future year when life permits.
Absolutely, sounds fun. Sorry you didn't get a 3D printer, but we have a library over here that has a 3D printer. So I don't know, maybe check your library. All right, we'll let you get on down the list, and we'll talk to you later. N6, XYZ.
All right, enjoy the spring break over in Hawaii, and you have a wonderful day ahead. Hey, let's clear with N6XYZ, and let's check in with Dan now, KN6WQU. Good morning, Dan. Dodging the raindrops? KN6WQU. Dan, you there?
Okay.
Okay, Dan, I think maybe your PL tone is turned off. I transmitted and I heard you coming in on the squelch tail.
All right, let's try that one more time. This is KN6WQU.
Good morning, Danny boy.
All right, yeah, for some reason, when I'm right there on the side of the house, it just, I don't know, some weird stuff going on. Anyway, good morning, all. This is KN6WQ here. I got Zane riding along with me today. Heather's still not feeling well. She's under the weather. Hopefully, we can get her back healthy soon, very soon. But she's got a UTI, unfortunately. So those suck. Let's see. Dodging the raindrops. It's not raining here right now. It rained last night for a little bit. Heather woke me up at 5:30 this morning. Hey, it's raining outside. I'm like, I know, I covered everything up last night, thank God, so that was good. Let's see, not too much more to add. It's all the same old, same old, same old, same old. Everything seems to be moving forward, so that's great news. Back over to you.
Sounds great, and if Zane is within earshot, good morning, Zane. You guys have a great day. 7-3.
7-3 all. This is KN6WQ.
I heard you, Zane. You have a great day. Good morning, everybody. AI6US, this is the Coffee Break Net. Boy, how did the time get by us here? Let's go ahead and go directly into for the log only. Any stations who would like to get in the log as we wrap up the Coffee Break Net on this Tuesday morning, please come now. I'm Brian, AI6US. Taking for the log check-ins, please spread them out if you would.
Good morning, Brian and Annette. Kilo Golf 6, November Lima Whiskey, for the log.
Whiskey Uniform 6 Hotel.
K6 GBZ for the log.
Kilo November 6, November Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo
Norway 6 Yankee, Germany, November 6 Yankee Golf.
Kilo Bravo 7 Delta Foxtrot Papa, KB 7 DFP, Kinnan Twin Falls, steam dates.
Good morning, November 6
TCI, Brian.
Good morning, everybody.
Kilo India 6, Hotel Foxtrot Papa.
Kilo India 6, Lima Oscar Papa.
Good morning, NN6 LZ.
KI6TC with a comment. Whiskey Bravo 6, Golf Uniform Yankee.
Just double checking, Brian. I doubled twice. I'm pretty sure. KN6 TCI.
All right, good morning. KN6, I think it is, Kilo November 6, Tango Charlie India. Good morning, Brian. Got you in the log. Good morning to Joel, WB6GY. Got you in the log as well. And let me just clean a couple things up here. All right, and let's see, KI6TC with a comment. We'll be back to you in a moment there, Glenn. And AI6LZ, good morning, Bert. Got you in the log. KI6LOP, good morning, Russ. Got you in the log as well. Let's see, HFP. I didn't get the full call there. 6HFP. Full call, please.
KI6HFP.
KI6HFP. Good morning. Name and location. I'm not coming up in my log here.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while since I've been checking in. This is Chris, Kilo Romeo India Sierra, and I am in Arden Arcade.
All right, good morning, Chris. KI6HFP. Yeah, I moved a lot of everything before 70,000 check-ins got moved over to another archive log, so it might have been a while. Good morning. Thank you for checking in. WA8LDT, good morning, Tim. Got you in the log. NN6H, would you like 1 or 2 or more check-ins, Tom? Got Tom in the log. NN6H, thank you for posting up the photos. I have not looked at them yet, but I saw your message that you posted up over 200 photos. So thank you so much for your volunteer and your photo photography and your awesome skills. Looking forward to seeing the pictures of the Hamfest up on the W6EK.org website. Steamed eggs. Good morning, Ken. KB60FP. Got you in the log. And November 6th, Yankee Golf. I'm going to have to get a call, or get a name on that. Not coming up in my log. November 6th, Yankee Golf. Are you there? No name, not in the log. KN6 NUF. Good morning, Joshua. Got you in the log. Have a wonderful day. Good morning, Tim. K6GBZ. Got you in the log. Thanks for checking in. WU6H. Good morning to Ryan. Got you in the log. And KG6NLW. Frank, I got you in the log as well. All right. Did I miss anyone? And then we'll come back and wrap up with a comment from Glenn.
Norway 6 Yankee, Germany.
And 6HF.
84 Lima, Golf Fighter.
Whiskey 60, Oscar Mike.
Good morning, Brian. W6GLW.
KN6SSB. Morning, Brian. Thanks, Brian.
All right, good morning to Art, KN6SSP. Great to hear you this morning. You are in the log. And good morning to Gerry, W6GLW. And good morning, Charlie, W6SOM. Got you in the log. Good morning to Sam, K4LGI. And let's see, there was a station ending in Hotel Sierra. There was a kerfuffle. I didn't get your complete call.
Kilo November 6, Hotel Foxtrot for the log. Good morning, Brian.
All right, that would be Dave, KN6HF. Got you in the log there, Dave. Thank you for checking in this morning. And N6YG, good morning. Let's see, I don't think I have a name coming up for that. N6YG, your name and location.
Yeah, the name is George, and we're in Lincoln, California, just about 2.5 miles northeast of the airport. And so good morning to all.
All right, George, got you in the log for this morning. Thank you for checking in from Lincoln, N6YG. All right, one last call, and then we'll go back to KI6TC for a comment. Last call for the log.
Kilo Delta 6, Hotel Oscar member. Thanks, Brian.
All right, Joe, good morning to you, and you have a wonderful day. KD6HON, you are in the log. All right, and let's see, Glenn, I think you have a little gloating to do about your daughter getting a new call sign. KI6TC, good morning, Glenn. What is your comment, sir?
Good morning, Brian. I'm one of those people that do not like changes, but I'll get used to it. And so, congratulations to the nerd, my nerd.
Comment?
Yes, and you had everything to do with creating that nerd. A lovely nerd she is. All right, good morning, Glenn. You have a wonderful day ahead. Happy Taco Tuesday. Miss seeing you, by the way, at the Ham Fest. I suddenly realized that nobody you didn't have a chauffeur to bring you, and that was an afterthought. My apologies, but I hope you had a great day.
Had a great day, and there's a comment in there, Brian.
KQ4SDX is what Superman says. Go ahead, Kathy. Go ahead, nerd.
Well, this nerd doesn't know how to I sent a message to the group, but I just wanted to comment that I got a phone call, a persistent phone call 3 times when I was trying to do my check-in with my new call sign. And I don't have it in front of me now, but I am to look up the meaning of nerd, and I proudly am a nerd. N4RD.
Very good. No, I think we all have a wee bit of nerd in us. That's what attracts us to amateur radio, and we wear the badge proudly. Yeah, sorry that you lost the end of your check-in there, but congratulations on the new call, and a couple other people that checked in after you left the net there, congratulating you. So awesome. Good morning to you both.
Comment.
Should I just turn this net over to the family? Go ahead, Ed.
I would think that Bob likes that call sign too, because he's been a lover of Ford all these many years. K Ford, or N Ford, I'm sorry. N Ford.
Yeah, some of us just drive the right brand of trucks. All right. Hey, good morning. So, yes, big shout out to Kathy with her new call sign. No longer KQ4SDX. Now she is a nerd. I need to look up that call sign here. N4RD. It's going to take a little while to sink into my noggin. N4RD. Brand new call sign for Kathy. Congratulations. Well, good morning. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close up the Coffee Break Net on this Tuesday morning. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. That is until 10 a.m., and that is 1430 to 1700 UTC. The Coffee Break Net, where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. Big shout out to all the net hosts who make this a wonderful, fun place to be. And thank you all, everybody, for checking in and being part of the daily conversation. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and wish everybody a happy, wonderful Tuesday ahead, and I will be back again tomorrow as your net control host and conversation facilitator. Remember, we do not turn the power off on the repeater. The repeater is on 24/7, so feel free to use the repeater outside of the net coffee break net hours. Sometimes it gets a little quiet out there. Good morning. Have a wonderful Tuesday, everybody. I'm Brian, AI6US, returning the W6EK repeater back to normal operation, whatever that may be. 7-3 all.